Mets bullpen stud Ryne Stanek joins the show. Keith Raad from Odyssey Mets Radio, as always, joins the show. And Eddie Schatz, Vatican Eddie, remember the guy wearing the Mets hat went viral when the Pope was announced there in Vatican City? He's here, having the best day of his life, and we're going to talk to him. All that, plus you get to watch the Mets take BP. Welcome in the cage. It's the Mets official Citi Field Series preview show. My name is Mike Janela. It's a light lift for me to preview this series because it sells itself. Dodgers and Mets, two first-place teams, NLCS rematch. Even has October weather here, game time temperature in the 50s on Memorial Day weekend. All that's coming up, though. Let's get you set to get there with the leadoff spot. It is the stat you need to know before Mets-Dodgers. That stat is 2.82. That's the Mets staff ERA. Best in baseball, only team in the majors under 3. They do that by limiting damage, giving up the fewest home runs in the majors this year. Top 3 in the National League in hits allowed and opponents' OPS. They face a Dodgers offense, though, that is number 1 in the National League in home runs and OPS, and top 2 in all of baseball in those categories, plus runs scored, hits, average. What can the Mets pitching staff do against the Dodgers offense that is, by many accounts, the best in baseball? That's the question 42,000 people have bought a ticket to find out the answer to tonight. All right, we got all that coming up, but for now, enjoy the Mets in the cage. Ryne Stanek coming in from the Mets bullpen, joining the show. What's up, man? How are you?
Good, can't complain. Hopefully the weather holds off for us.
Dude, Memorial Day weekend, and I'm wearing this sweater. It's like
yeah, I was not prepared for it to be cold, especially in Boston. It's weird at the end of May.
Well, I mean, it was freezing up there.
It's horrible.
It was so bad. I mean, how happy are you guys? Obviously, the results are one thing. Weather was a bad thing. All that noise Carlos Mendoza's talking about. It was a long week, I'm sure. How happy are you guys for being back here?
Yeah, it definitely felt like a long week. Just having a road trip, like that wasn't really a road trip. Like going over to the other side, playing the Yankees, like kind of made that road trip feel longer. Having to like come to the yard and then bus over and then bus back, like it made for some late nights. Then going to Boston and freezing a little bit was definitely not what we expected this close to June. But yeah, I mean it's good to be back, and we got nine here now, so it'll be nice. 9 games in 10 days, where you guys have the best home record in baseball still. How do you guys stay insulated on performance with all that external stuff going on? I mean, you've got 6 scoreless appearances your last 7. Pitching staff's still been carrying their water. How do you guys make sure that you still stay on what you guys stay on with everything else swirling around you? I mean, I think it's like a cliche, but you just ignore the noise. You show up, you prepare, you get your work in, you go play, and then you go home and you reset and you do it again.
How much, try and be honest with me, how much does that trickle down to you guys, all that outside stuff? Or are you now at this point that you can just put up the blinders and you guys talk all you want, it's not getting into this clubhouse?
I mean, it's...
Because you're human too.
Yeah, like that's the hard part, is there's always that human element where people get outside noise like thrown at them on social media and stuff like that. Like the conventional media stuff like doesn't really bother you a whole lot, because I think at this point you've been here, you be in the big leagues long enough, you hear things that aren't positive in the conventional media, and that's just kind of what it is. But the other stuff from social media, when things go sideways, I mean, you hear all the bad stuff. Even Liam Hendricks the other day was saying that people threatened his family, and like people like that are just horrible humans.
Like literally unbelievable.
Horrible humans. Like, and unfortunately, like that happens more and more nowadays, and it's pretty sad, because like I don't know, most people don't get death threats for doing their job, so it's
you shouldn't for yours.
Exactly, and that's unfortunate, because like there's a lot of really good people that play, and it's just something that guys deal with, and hopefully it doesn't bother them too much, or they can get off of social media and stuff like that and not let it bother them. It's a tall task sometimes.
Yeah, it is, but you're going to try and do that this weekend against the Dodgers team that comes in. We mentioned at the top of the show, they're a top 1 or 2 offense in pretty much every category across the majors. How do you guys attack a team and a lineup that's that good and that deep?
I mean, I think it's not doing too much, not trying to do more than you're capable of doing. It's knowing your game plan, knowing yourself, and like what your strengths are. Also, and knowing their scouting reports, knowing like the go zones that are there to eliminate slug, the places you can go to get people to chase, whatever your game plan is, like being able to kind of identify that, stay the course, and like execute, and that's all we can control. I mean, incredibly talented team. Obviously, it's not a shock to anybody. But yeah, I think it's more about us focusing on what we can do and going from there.
Now, it is cold. It's Memorial Day weekend, not a single game time temperature expected to go over 60 degrees. Cold weather typically helps pitchers, but what does that mean for you guys here in May, dealing with these kind of elements against what's maybe the best team in baseball? What does that do for you?
I mean, I think at this kind of temperature, it's not as big of a factor for most guys because it's a little bit easier to like get warm and stay warm.
It's not cold enough.
Yeah, it's not quite cold enough to be majorly problematic, but it's also something that like, yeah, maybe if you get a little bit of wind swirl, you might get some balls get knocked down or might give up a cheap one or something to that effect. Like that's pretty much the only weather factor that I think might be in play right now, just because 55, 60, like it's pretty manageable. So yeah, I don't think the weather should be too bad as long as it doesn't rain. That always sucks.
Yeah, for all of us.
Yeah, nobody likes delays.
And then last thing, man. I mean, obviously baseball's a long season. Is there a revenge factor for the NLCS last year, or because it's such a long season, it's not like the NFL where you see these guys maybe once a year?
Yeah.
Do you move past that quickly?
I mean, it's definitely like everybody knows what happened, so it's like it's not. I definitely don't think it's a revenge game, but it's definitely something where people are like aware of. It's a good team, be ready to play. Like nobody's going to ease off the gas. So yeah, I think you're right. It's a long season, and it's hard to focus on something like that whenever you're like, well, we still got 120 games left or 115 games left. So like, it's probably just, hey, go out and play. It's going to be a good team. It's going to be a good crowd, good environment. Like, it's going to be exciting, and it's games that you want to be a part of. So it's going to be pretty cool.
All right, man. Can't wait to see how it unfolds. Stay dry, stay warm.
Yes,
Appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
More in the cage coming up. Keith Raad, Odyssey at Mets Radio, getting set for Dodgers and Mets. Massive series, obviously. We've had this circled in the calendar for a long time, but the Mets are in a stretch of a lot of massive series. That road trip, though, Yankees, Red Sox, was a tough one. Give me the vibe check on the way back down from Fenway Park and around the clubhouse these last couple days. What's the temperature?
Yeah, it's probably right about here, about even keeled for these guys. Frustrated with what happened at Yankee Stadium, plays that were not made, hits that were not, they didn't come through with a big hit. And that Boston series, just looking at some of these guys, like, man, they're really going through it right now. And it's tough when they're all going through it because these guys are good hitters, which is why our expectations are so high. So got that last one in Boston. That one felt good for the guys. So, but they're even keeled here. This series with the Dodgers might help.
Yeah, never too high, never too low. It's a long baseball season. And yet, it seems like every week you say a lot of the guys are kind of going through it. There's one guy that seems to be getting a lot of that scrutiny. It's Juan Soto, as I'm sure you could guess. A lot of that noise that Carlos Mendoza was talking about on the road trip. Everyone's talking about what he is or what he isn't doing. What's your assessment of the guy so far?
Yeah, truly, everybody has an opinion of Juan Soto. You have it, I've got it, your mother's got one, your grandmother's got one, everybody has one right now. And I think the responsibility of everything that's weighing on the guy's shoulders may be paying a visit to him right here. So, yeah, he's not doing what he wants to be doing. There's no doubt about that. His batting average, his OPS, not what everybody signed up for. But he knows that. He'll get back to that spot at a certain point. Just got to wait and see. It's always that next at bat, guys on base. So it's only a matter of time for him.
I know you're an advanced stats guy. You look at his StatCast page, it's still splashed in red everywhere. It's just expectations, I think, especially with everything in the offseason. But like you said, it could be that next at bat. It could happen tonight. Tonight, this weekend, it's the Dodgers. I mean, people were crowning this team World Series champs already before opening day. How do you beat this Death Star? What are you looking at for the Mets to try and exploit?
Yeah, it's the Death Star. You're absolutely right about that. It's just they're so good offensively. I think right now in this series you hone in on the lineup because the lineup is fully healthy. This is going to be the lineup it's going to be in the World Series at some point. And of course, the Mets want to get in the way of that. Their pitching staff, they have an entire pitching staff on the injured list right now. So really it's how do these Mets pitchers, we've seen their ERA, the Mets pitching ERA being the best in baseball, can they do that against this team with Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Hernandez, Edman, Smith, the whole lineup, the whole cast of characters this weekend.
Yeah, Teoscar Hernandez who just came back, like just weapons on weapons on weapons. Their starting pitching, though, you mentioned, they have a whole starting staff on the IL. Is that an opportunity for these Mets bats to take on maybe a soft spot in this roster, or is the second wave of their starters as good? I mean, we see Clayton Kershaw tonight, not the name brand Clayton Kershaw we know from 10 years ago. Is there an opportunity for the Mets bats here?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's one of the things you have to jump on here. The Dodgers offense knows about how their starting pitching has allowed a ton of home runs, both the starters and the relievers, so they're going to try to score against these Mets arms, but it is a chance for Soto, Alonso, Nimmo, Lindor to start hitting some home runs against these guys, because even though the Dodgers have a next man up mentality, they seem like they have 10,000 people on their 40-man roster. You can still get to this group of guys. I don't know if it's going to be the same group of guys come October, but this is a hittable team right now for the Dodgers.
Get those wins when you can. Give us a behind-the-booth story. We always like getting a peek into what it's like up in the Odyssey booth. What do you got for us?
Did a walking tour in Boston. I know Pat has done it too, that Freedom Trail they have
nice.
up there.
Yeah,
we went to Sam Adams' gravesite. Riveting.
I thought you were going to go to the brewery, which would be more riveting for me.
Turns out that picture is Paul Revere, not Sam Adams. I was blown away. But there's a bar across the street from that grave, and they say you can have a cold Sam Adams while looking at a cold Sam Adams.
That's a very, very morbid note to end on. Keith Raad always brings us these happy, positive stories. Speaking of sad things, they're getting the tarp ready. Hopefully by the time you watch this, the Mets and Dodgers are still going to be getting ready to play on time. Memorial Day weekend, who knew we'd be in.
We want our money back.
Yeah. Keith Raad, appreciate it. As always, more in the cage coming up. All the way from the Vatican and worldwide viral fame to right here at Citi Field, Eddie Sheds. Eddie, how are you, man?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
You're having the day of your life.
It is fun. Yeah, having a good time.
Let's set the scene first. You were obviously at Vatican City for the conclave as they announced Pope Leo there,
right.
And CNN goes live and they see you. This is the hat?
This is the hat I had on.
The hat
that
on.
day.
Everyone, it just blows up. How's your life changed since then?
I mean, never in a million years did I expect this to happen. It was very surreal. I could never dream something like this happening, and it was really cool. I mean, I've never had my phone blow up like that before. I didn't have cell phone service, so I didn't even know what was happening at the time. And then get it later, and I just get inundated with friends, family messaging me, reaching out, and it was really cool.
And you come here today before the Mets game. I mean, I saw you talking to Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso and Carlos Mendoza.
Yeah.
Where is this? Is this the coolest day of your life? You've been a Mets fan your whole life.
My whole life. 36 years. Bleed blue and orange. I just love this team. And I had a great conversation with Pete about restaurants that we've both been to in Rome. It was
as one does.
It was amazing. It was very cool. I got like chills talking to him about it. It was really cool.
What's the consensus? Pizza better there or better here?
Oh, better there.
Better there. All right. Hot take. It's different kind of pizza.
Yeah, different kind. Yeah.
So what were you doing there? Are you a big papacy fan? Are you Catholic? Or are you just there on vacation?
So I am Catholic. I was planning on going to Rome around this time for a few other events. There's a soccer tournament, a tennis tournament, and was a little indecisive. But then once they announced the conclave was going to be around the same time, I was like, you know what? I got to go.
Literally a sign from above,
literally once in a lifetime opportunity. So I had to go, and it worked out great.
It did, and now be honest, because you've kind of taken this totemic space in Mets fandom.
Yep.
Last year was OMG. You took that literally this year, going to the Vatican. Are you prepared for the responsibility that maybe you're the next guy?
If I got to do it, the saying is you got to believe, so I'm believing this year.
We love that. Believe for sure, a great through line. And then last thing I think a lot of people want to know, did you say a prayer while you were there? Is this was this a blessed hat?
I had it blessed actually numerous times, so I think I brought the luck home with me, the good fortune with me, and we'll see where it takes us the rest of the season.
Love it, Eddie. Appreciate it. Do you mind if I get a little touch?
Yeah, of course.
There we go. Love it. Thank you very much, Eddie. Continued best of luck with everything, and thanks for taking the time. And
Thank you.
Just enjoy the ride, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
More in the cage coming up. All right, thanks to Ryne Stanek, Keith Raad, and Eddie Shantz, who's bringing some of that maybe divine intervention here to Mets Dodgers this weekend. We're going to try and get inside. Hopefully this series gets played with no delays, nothing like that. But Mets Dodgers is going to be worth the wait no matter when it happens. If you're not planning on coming to Citi Field this weekend, try and get out here. It's going to be fantastic. But if not, make sure to follow the Mets on all your favorite social media platforms at Mets. For everybody involved, my name is Mike Janela. Thanks for watching and joining us in the cage.